I came in 1988 and he was here. And you heard how many years he has been here. He was also a student at the Alleyne School as well. Never left, that's very true, Mr. Kellman is one of those dedicated, hard-working. You could ask Mr. Kellman to do anything. He never says no. He never cringes, buts the eye. He just does it. And we want to say that we will miss Mr. Kellman, not just because he does things for us, but because of his friendly, loving staff. So Mr. Kellman, on behalf of the Arts Department, we would like to present you with these small tokens of our appreciation for all the work you have done for us in this department. Thank you.
School in 2008. Yes, I joined Mr. Kellman's team as a form teacher. I have been with him for 7 years. 8. You're old, right? I suppose that was most important for me to give this presentation to him as an English teacher. Now, we started theatre arts at the school in 2009, and I was the first teacher to teach that course. And it was a very new and it was fresh subject. Not many secondary schools were doing it. And we decided that we were going to embark on taking on this course. And we've been extremely successful over the years that we've done it. We have 100% classes. And we could not have done that without this gentleman right here. So Mr. Kellman saw what we were doing and he offered his assistance. He offered his assistance in creating the backdrops that we had. He has set up our light system. He has borrowed things from the SDA church. He has also given of his own equipment. And it is not like if we have to go and ask Mr. Kellman anything, he actually comes and he says, it's that time of year, what do you need from me? And Mr. Kellman, you don't understand what that means. I guess perhaps you may. But being a teacher of theatre arts and knowing how other schools operate, I know that what we have here and what the generosity that you've given to us does not exist at other schools. There are many things that we don't have to pay for because you have generously given it to us. There are many things that we don't have to worry about because you have been here. You always come home, you always support, and that has been invaluable. And so for myself and Chantal and the English department, we would like to do this special token of our appreciation. It cannot in no way measure up to what you have done for us. So I think that I'm hopeful that when you look at that you will think of us, and I think it's something that has something to do with the assistance that you've given us. So I'm hopeful that when you use it, that you will think about us. Thank you very much, Mr. Cameron.
know it's where we've been and what we've been through. And if we and I'll take with me the memories to be my sunshine after the rain. 'Cause it's so hard to say goodbye to yesterday. Mr. Kellman, on behalf of the executive board, we would like to present you with this day the hard work, dedication, and patience of the
a former teacher at the Alleyne School. Mr. Kellman was a student while I was there, and he was a very diligent student. But my recollection of him I really have to think about 2 to 3 weeks ago when he and I had about a half an hour conversation. And we were reminiscing about days at the Alleyne School. And one of the things he said to me then that really struck me was that all the time that he was going to school at the Alleyne School, his one dream was to come back to the school and be a teacher. And that when he became qualified as a teacher and he went to Ellerslie, all the time he was at Ellerslie, all he longed for was to be able to go back to the Alleyne School. And he was so passionate about that when he was telling me that the Alleyne School meant so much to him. So, my fond memories of Glenroy really is just about that conversation that we had just about, I would say about 2 or 3 weeks ago. And I would just like to take this opportunity to wish sincere condolences to his immediate family and to the Alleyne School family, because we have lost a treasure.
Board of Management, Principal, Deputy Principal, colleagues, students, good morning. You've heard it said that I was teaching for 41 years. And if I take a minute for each year, that would take me how long? 41 minutes, right? But I am not going to stay for 41 minutes. I believe what I have to say will take a little more than 41 seconds.
Hi, my name is Vincent Gibbs. I'm a former student of Alleyne School. I was actually a classmate of Mr. Kellman back in the 1970s. And I remember Bill, as we called him back then, as a quiet and very kind individual. He was one who was always willing to learn, focus, a fellow who was very articulate. And Bill was always one who was willing to show others. He was the type of guy that we looked up to for leadership. And even though we saw him as a leader, Bill was not the type of guy who was pushy or show off in any way. He was just a genuine fellow who generally sought to help people or to help the fellow students around him. And he was always focused on learning, as I said, and he generally always thought in terms of bettering himself. Boy, it was a shock when I learned of Bill's death. I mean, because basically it would have been like the same age group, probably maybe 1 or 2 years apart, if not the same age. So it was really sad to learn of his passing. So on behalf of myself, I guess maybe our other classmates who I hope would probably get an opportunity to express condolences to his relatives and friends as well, I would like to express condolences to his family and his loved ones and pray that he will rest in peace.
You know, a journey that started the 16th of September 1977. One of my former teachers, Mr. Welch, came to my house with a letter sending me to Ellerslie. I told Mr. Welch I have no interest in teaching, but because of him, my former teacher, and the fact that he had come from the Ministry of Education to Balpin to give me a letter, I accepted the letter and told him that I would teach only for 3 months. He said, okay, we'll try it for 3 months. What is interesting to note though, Ms. Ferguson, is that when I started my teaching career, I started with her husband, because he was part of the industrial arts team when I was there. And now I'm finishing with you. And I think somewhere in the middle, I taught your daughter as well, technical drawing. I want to say thanks for the expressions of generosity, and I'm sure that I will accept and appreciate all the gifts given. Now, on Sunday, some folks said, it was certain to say that I was too emotional to respond, and that some folks would even say that I was crying. No such thing happened. But what I can say today though, is that at some point in time, I had to put my hands behind my back and rub off some of those pimples. Yes, 41 years is a long time, and I must say that I have come now to the end of my 3 months. When I spent 2 years at Ellerslie, and those first 2 years were miserable years. I did everything possible to quit teaching. I applied to Natural Gas Corporation. They wanted first a draftsman. Then I got there, I applied at the interview. They said that they were also looking for a chemical engineer, and I told them that I would be interested. And the guy told me he would give me a call, but he never called. So after 2 years, I went over to St. Lucie Secondary, spent 2 years there, and then I got a call from my sister-in-law. She was working at the Ministry of Education that time, and she said that the principal there at St. James Secondary wanted a teacher, and I went to meet him, Mr. Thor at the time, and then I spent 6 years at St. James Secondary. So that would have made it 10 years. And one day while I was there, I told the principal then, Mr. Griffith, that I am thinking about going to Alleyne School. Now I had made no contact with anybody at Alleyne School. I just told him I'm going. But he said, you know, Mr. Kellman, I was listening for that for a long time. I said, good. I called Mr. Jordan, Ashley Jordan, who was the principal here, and I told him, I'm coming to Alleyne School, what vacancies do you have? He said, not at the moment, but I will call you. And he did. And so I was scheduled to be here at Alleyne School in 1986. But because they could not find a replacement for me at St. James Secondary, I was given my permanent appointment with a year's probation to be spent at St. James Secondary. So then I came here in 1987. But on coming here though, I had to earn my stripes. I'm going to explain a little scenario to you. For that first term going into the staff room, there was a problem with the lock. And I decided, and you're not listening, and I decided that I was going to fix that lock at the end of the term. So when the reports were finished, I came into the staff room, that first door, there in the staff room, took off the lock. And from the time I took off the lock, the deputy principal was there, Mr. Alleyne at the time, acting, and Mr. George Backus, acting principal because Mr. Jordan was on leave. They were there to supervise my dismantling of that lock. And I tell you, one person who came to my assistance, I refer to her as my big sister, Miss Trotman. Miss Trotman, you will know her, an art teacher. And I will tell you that that day, her colorful language, even though I don't associate with that kind of language, was quite fitting. Because I mean, the guys were over my shoulder, and perhaps to them, who was this young star don't come in here and this man in our locks? And I tell you, when I look at the lock was similar. It was the same kind of lock that I had on my bedroom door at home that I put on. So it was easy to fix. And after Miss Roman and her colorful language, the guys went their ways, and I finished the lock on the door, and everything was working fine. But after that, we came to vacation, the lock was changed. Working perfectly, but the lock was changed. And another lock was put on the door, which didn't last long, but I got the message. I did not interfere with any locks. But strangely enough, there are some people here, some will remember, many times they will lock their doors with the keys on the inside and who to call. Mr. Kellman. So I'm sure Mrs. Batson and the others will remember the many times I came to their assistance and getting the keys from the inside. Safety personnel would have done a similar thing, and I remember one day Mr. Backus said, Mr. Kellman, you have to retrieve some keys from the door. You guys have locked the door and the keys are on the inside, and the exams are going to start. The event exams are going to start at 1 o'clock. And so I retrieved the keys, gave it to the guys, and I went to lunch. So while at lunch, Mr. Backus called out, Mr. Kellman, did you remember to open the door? I said, yes, you guys are covered, exams can go on. And ever since then, I would have been here at Alleyne School all during the summer vacation, either repairing doors, tables, chairs, everything. I want to say though to the art department, that is, I have promised the six form students, because they have to work to complete. And I promised them that I'll be here to assist them. So Madam Principal, if you see me here, it's not that I don't have anywhere to go. I'm coming to assist the sixth form students with their art projects. And I must say though that I have had a good run, a long run, and that would be strange coming from a sprinter, but I've had a long run. And while here, I'm sure there are a number of teachers here who were students when I was a teacher here. See Mr. Greenwich, raise his hand. All the others like Mr. Alicott, Mr. Mulder, Mr. Greenwich, and by the way, Mr. Greenwich, I think I reminded you that I taught your father as well. Honestly, I'm looking for some of them, but there are a number of them all around who would have been students here. Even our guidance counselor, I saw her somewhere. Maybe she's She's tired, you know. And then Ms. Ferguson spoke about a girl who she's teaching now, to her brother, her father, her mother, everybody. But I'm going to take it a little further than that. There's a student here whose grandmother I taught when it was at St. Lucie Secondary. And you'd be surprised to hear at that time that I taught mathematics. Yes. Yes, I did. But at that time I couldn't call the shots. Because when the guys put the teach the word technical drawing, craft, English, yes, English, and math, they complain to my department. I want to know what should I be teaching all of these subjects, especially English and math. I said, Mr. Kellman, every teacher is an English teacher and a math teacher, and I have nothing else to say about that. But a time ago, when I went to St. James, the principal there asked me if I would consider teaching agricultural science. I told him no, and I found a reason. I gave him the reason that I changed over, coming from the garden to go into a classroom, that kind of thing would have taken some time, and I succeeded in teaching only woodwork and technical drawing at that time. Coming to Alleyne School, my role, I'm going to finish in 41 seconds. Coming to Alleyne School, my role changed. I used to teach woodwork and technical drawing. I'm down now to woodwork, or it's called building and furniture technology and technology education, and that would stand only until today. So I want to say thanks to everybody for the kind gestures. You, the audience, you have not been so good a listening audience, but nevertheless, I hope that you would understand that education, that if you think that education is expensive, try ignorance. If you think that education is expensive, try ignorance. I want you all to take the opportunity given to you to acquire the best you can in this world and in this life. The youngster here? Right, you listening? You listening, youngster? I don't know your name, but I know that you're not paying attention. But all I'm saying to you guys, do the best you can, what you can. And I close by saying, at least nor CB, for others, nor ourselves.